I was not a writer or something to do with a lot of intellectual work because I served in the FIA and the investigative agencies, and the impression of the police guys is always using more danda than the pen. But anyway, after spending some time with friends like Mushayed and many others, and if I say that one of my friends who's a journalist, he's not present here, maybe he'll come in a little later, he was insisting me to start writing articles. And not only once, but whenever I met him, he requested for articles. And one day he said, if you don't write it, sir, I'm going to come you in the morning at 8:30. I'll sit with you on breakfast and I'll pursue you to write. Anyway, it was a challenge. The same evening I wrote an article. And then I sent to a media house. It was printed. This is how I started writing article. As far as the book writing is concerned, because I have been writing, not writing, in fact, that way I've been speaking a lot, both at the parliament, in my speeches otherwise, and various channels, programs, because what I felt that Pakistan is, constantly is being harassed and being inflicted by India. What I observed, my apologies from His Excellencies, allow us to say what I'm saying. I know you may have a little different perception what I say, but what we have experienced in this region, I would like to speak my heart out. So I decided to actually document all those brutalities, aggressions, which was done by India since our independence. And this book will show you, right from 1947, India has not spared a single chance to inflict us. And world witnessed what happened in Kashmir in 1947? Obviously, India. What happened to us in 1971? Obviously, India. And no less than the Prime Minister of India, elected Prime Minister of India, Prime Minister Modi, while delivering a speech at an international forum in Bangladesh, stated that, yes, India actually broke Pakistan. And then, daringly he's saying that he was a young boy, a teenager, when he led Mukti Bani in East Pakistan. And he not only stated this, he also exposed certain documentation whereby stating that Indian leadership at that time decided to break Pakistan. So how could we not say and crib, not only crib, but we have to tell the world, this is what India had been doing. What they did in 1965, it's right in front of the world. What they did in Kargil, it is right there. But it did not finish. The brutalities increased in Kashmir when Prime Minister Modi took over. And my book, in which you will see, I have actually narrated the whole story, rise of Prime Minister Modi from RS as an organization. It's not me saying so. Google says top 10 wanted terrorists, and you find Prime Minister Modi in that. It's not me who's saying, it's the record of the US State Department banning Prime Minister Modi to enter US as a terrorist. And perhaps he's the only head of state at the moment who is maintaining his membership with a terrorist organization. And still he's the Prime Minister. How and what kind of brutalities he did after he became the Chief Minister of Gujarat. And subsequently we also witnessed what he did in Bihar. So I have also stated in the same book as to how the Indian leadership, whichever was in power, used Pakistan anti-mind syndrome during election or just prior to elections. And I've given the dates of the elections and the kind of situation they created. And without telling more details, I'll just come on to Pulwama. And just before Pulwama, there was a meeting of his 4 very, very confident ministers, and they decided that they will create a situation whereby they will have some big incident which will create a stir in the world, and they did it in the form of Pulwama. And then they will do some kind of surgical strikes, and they did it. And then they decided to bring Pakistan in the limelight as a bad boy. And what they did, you know, I just make a point, which is that world's organization or investigative agency, or even anybody who has any connection with the investigative world, nobody can make out in 15 minutes who has done the incident. And here you see in Pulwama, within 1 hour they say it is Pakistan. And that's where within 3 hours I came on the TV, I said they are lying. Why they are lying? Because there is a big distance between, travel distance between Jammu and Srinagar. This convoy, which was hit, its departure was delayed for 2 days. Then this is double-way, two-way traffic. How come a terrorist comes on the wrong side, where every 2 kilometers there is a checkpost, and it passes from there, that car with 450 kg and blast near one of that truck. And whereas whenever such convoy goes, it is always manned by heavy security, which was there. And not only this, the commander of the same convoy, he's in the front. All were crossed and nobody knew. So that's why he just questioned Prime Minister and also his aides. Either it's connived or you are such a inefficient, incompetent, that having 750,000 armed army men and 200,000 your intelligence are there, you fail to detect. As far as Adil Dar is concerned, who they claim to be a suicide bomber, we do not have any DNA till now. What is the exact story? It's known. So what I mean to say, this thing was created by RSS, RA, and the army, Indian Army. And when I said that it's almost a replica of one of the earlier incident, Samjhauta Express, and exactly the same thing happened. When this incident happened, it was blamed against Pakistan. The entire intelligence community of Pakistan, the entire media of Pakistan was howling and crying that we have not done it. But the Indians said, no, you have done it. And the world was saying it's done by Pakistan. But one intelligent, very intelligent officer, honest officer, DIG Krakre from India, he did the investigation. He's an Indian officer. And he exposed Colonel Proth, RSS, RA, military intelligence, and of course the army. And it went to the court. And what happened to Krakre, Your Excellencies and ladies and gentlemen? During this Bombay blast, he was there supervising the whole operation. While wearing his hat, a bulletproof hat, he gets a call that somebody wants to talk to you. He takes the hat out and the bullet goes straight to his head. He was killed. And no investigations. The only investigation was done, his post-mortem, and they said there is no bullet in it. And I know, I had followed it up, his wife died with brain hemorrhage, running from post to pillar for justice, but she did not get it. So all these things which have been done by RSS and of course RA, I have jolted down. So those 71 years, and of course RSS, you can say very clearly, Daesh has also got annexes with it. We have the intelligence, and we know what they're doing. Now, the brutalities in Kashmir, the way they are finishing the population of Kashmiris and bringing the RS guys, their families there, other Hindu families, we object to that. And after Pulwama, there is much more aggression, much more brutalities there. And somebody has to look into it. And apathy is this, that when even the Human Rights Commission, the president asked for for having investigation in Kashmir after Pulwama, they refused. Finally, I'll say, which I have also stated in my own words and with some details, world is advanced in many ways. I think perhaps Kashmir has got a small voice from innocent. That's not being listened to it. Whereas resolution of 9/11 was implemented less than 48 hours. Other resolutions where the big powers are involved, they are implemented immediately. Now, so many years have been passed. Nobody is bothered as to why India is failing and why India is defying that resolution which was passed by the international community, and not once, thrice. So what does it show? India cares who for the international community. But I think this is the time when the poor under aggression, they are being killed, they are being pelted, the women are raped. Somebody has to come forward. But instead of giving help, Army of India is there, and RS is doing the same thing, and without any deterrence at the continuing. So what I have documented all these details, and also the entire drama, which of course Prime Minister Modi created, like a election model, a campaign model, and that was anti-Pakistan syndrome, to create something and then use it. But I'm so happy that even the Indian people, the intellectuals there, their political hierarchy had come very heavy on Prime Minister Modi, and he had to give up his whatever he had made in his mind. And starting from Congress to all political parties have condemned it. And of course, if you see the entire thing which started, he came with aggression, and the way he claimed to have come to Balakot and killed 300 so-called terrorists, we challenged, that come forward, give us proof. And if in this world, at this point of time, in this electronic life, where you can just pick a needle from the world, from Google, from satellite, they failed to do it. So I think war is not the option. Gun is not the solution. Solution is, of course, the dialogue. And I think our government, especially when we had a joint session, and when our Prime Minister offered, you can see their proudness. Our Prime Minister calls him 5 times. He didn't have the courtesy to call back, okay, sorry, I'm a little busy, I'll call you back. So I think they have decided in their mind that they have to do whatever possible to inflict Pakistan. So I think our armed forces, people of Pakistan, the way we responded, and we just told them, look, if we are telling you to come on the table, that doesn't mean we are weak. We are stronger. It's not 1971. We are a nuclear state, and we can really respond you well. And I think maybe some sense did prevail, and I hope this sense continues to prevail. And the last only I convey from here to the people of India, that your elections are coming. We are not interfering in it, but only request is elect somebody who's peace-loving. And don't elect anybody who is a trained terrorist, because a trained terrorist, a militant, will have militancy, not peace. We want peace in this world. We want peace in this region. And I think if Pakistan and India sit together on the table, that is the right way. And that's what I've suggested in it. Why I documented, because I wanted to tell the world that this is what India has been doing against Pakistan. This must come to end, whether they go to FATF, and the double standards being exercised, being practiced by the world, needs to be checked. When we talk of FATF, we are told that you are money launderers, you are terrorist financiers, but when we write with documentary evidence that the Indian government, headed by Prime Minister Modi, is a terrorist financer, and we gave the proof, Jadoo, the monkey agent, was here. He didn't come without money, and all those terrorist acts which he performed, obviously it involved money. So where the money came from India, it comes from Indian states, so it's a state terrorism. Then if somebody is protecting the fugitives, which are internationally declared by the Interpol, so why should they be protected? We gave the documentary evidence, no action. Then we said there are certain money launderers who have run away after stealing money more than $700 million and belong to Ambani family. No action. I exposed Rafael scandal of billions of dollars, no action. But when it comes to Pakistan, a poor guy, one of our priests goes to Malaysia and collects some kind of donation for his own madrasa, and they say he's a money launderer because he took the funds. So I think these double standards from the international community, we request, should come to end, and listen to Pakistan, listen to our narrative. And this book is actually our narrative, and we are trying to tell the world that this, the narrative, must be accepted. And what Pakistani people feel, that after giving the sacrifice of 70,000 people, 10,000 of Pak Army and other defense forces, we are still being treated as suspect. So I think a time will come, perhaps nobody will come forward to help those sometimes they want to have help. We know, you know, the world knows what happened between USSR and America in Afghanistan, and what we did, it is also known. And in war on terror, our sacrifices, the way we worked, it's very much known to the world. What we are requesting to the world, please reconsider your thoughts and give the due credit where it is due. And the credit is due to Pakistan, because Pakistan has made number of sacrifices, both in terms of economy and, of course, lives. Thank you very much. Pakistan Zindabad. And I am really grateful for all my friends who are here. Chairman Senate just called me. He's with the Prime Minister. So, of course, we have senior-most senators, Mr. Mushayed, and also our very dear friend, Wasim Sajjad Saab, and many others. So we are here to great situation. Thank you, Ji. Thank you, Ji.